So you're out shopping for a new smart TV, or maybe just a streaming stick, right? And you keep seeing these two names everywhere, Android TV and Google TV.
Right.
And it's confusing. Are they the same? Is one just a new name for the old thing? It feels like Google's just trying to make things difficult sometimes.
Oh, absolutely. It's a classic tech headache, isn't it? You're standing there in the aisle trying to figure it out. And you're right to be confused because the names really do suggest they're, two totally separate things fighting it out.
Exactly.
But the reality, as our sources dig into, is a bit more subtle. It's more like one is the foundation and the other is the fancy new house built on top.
Okay, good analogy. Let's unpack that then. Our mission today is really to cut through all that branding fog. We want to clearly define what each platform is, how they relate. You said one's the OS, one's the experience layer, and pinpoint the actual functional differences. UI, content, all that.
Right. And maybe most importantly, figure out which one you should actually be looking for when you buy something now. And let's just start with the main takeaway, the big answer. Google TV is not a replacement for Android TV. Full stop. It's an evolution. Think of it as a big software update, a whole new user experience layer that runs on top of the Android TV operating system.
So the engine underneath is still Android TV, but Google TV is like a completely redesigned dashboard and interior.
That's a great way to put it. The core mechanics are shared, so maybe let's start with that foundation. What exactly is Android TV?
Good idea. Lay the groundwork.
Okay, so Android TV, that's the original platform. Google launched it way back in 2014, believe it or not. It's built on the standard Android OS, the same one for phones, but obviously adapted for the big TV screen. It's the basic software that lets you run apps, stream video, play games.
And it's been on millions and millions of devices, right? Like Sony TVs, TCL, Hisense, even those NVIDIA shill boxes everyone loves.
Ubiquitous is the word. It really became the standard smart TV OS for many brands. And the interface reflects its age a bit. It's functional, pretty straightforward. Those horizontal rows of apps and content.
Yeah, very row-based. Scroll, scroll, scroll.
Exactly. But it does the job. It gives you the Google Play Store for apps, Google Assistant for voice commands, and that crucial Chromecast built-in feature. All the basics are there.
Okay, so that's the bedrock. Android TV. When did this Google TV transformation start happening?
The big public shift was in 2020. That's when Google TV was officially launched as this new user interface, this new experience layer. Some people started calling it Android TV 2.0, which kind of captures the idea. It first showed up on the Chromecast with Google TV dongle.
Ah, right. I remember that launch. And the whole point was to change how you find stuff to watch.
Precisely. Android TV was very app-centric. You open the Netflix app, you open the Prime Video app, like icons on a desktop. Google TV flips that. It's content-centric. The main goal is getting you to a show or movie you'll like fast with minimal clicking around. It's all about discovery and personalization.
Which brings us right to the core difference then, the user interface. Power up a Google TV device versus an old Android TV one. It looks totally different.
Oh, night and day. Android TV, simple grid, rows of apps, Google TV, much more modern, visual. It's organized into tabs like For You, movies, shows, apps, library, and that For You tab. That's the command center. That's where the magic or the machine learning happens.
Okay, let's talk about the machine learning. Personalization is such a buzzword. How is Google TV's approach actually different?
Well, on the older Android TV, personalization was pretty basic. Maybe it put your most used apps at the top. That was about it. Google TV goes way further. The For You screen pulls recommendations from all your different streaming services, Netflix, Disney+, Hulu, whatever you're signed into one big unified feed. And the sources say the machine learning looks at like what you watch, when you watch it, even how long you hover over a title before clicking or not clicking. It uses all that to build this constantly changing list of suggestions just for you.
Okay, so let me get this straight. On my old Android TV, if I want to see what new sci-fi is out, I have to open Netflix, browse, close it, open Prime Video, browse, close it, open Max.
Yep. That's the classic app hopping fatigue. Each app is its own little island on Android TV.
Right.
Google TV tries to bridge all those islers. It does the browsing for you, basically. It surfaces the content first, regardless of which app it lives in. You just see, oh, that looks interesting. Click it, and then it takes you to the right app to play it. It even suggests things from services you don't subscribe to, showing you where it's available.
Which is pretty clever marketing for those services too, I imagine.
Oh, absolutely.
But does that mean, are the big players like Netflix or Hulu okay with Google kind of taking over that initial discovery piece? aren't they losing eyeballs on their own carefully crafted home screens?
That's a really sharp point. And yeah, it does represent a bit of a shift in control, doesn't it? The sense from the sources is that it's a trade-off. While providers, they want you in their app environment, getting featured prominently on that main For You screen is huge visibility.
Exposure versus control.
Exactly. They might lose a bit of control over that first impression, but they potentially gain viewers who might not have opened their app otherwise, especially as that For You feed becomes the main starting point for people.
Makes sense. Okay, let's talk about another feature you mentioned, the Universal Watch List. This sounds like a game changer for people trying to keep track of things.
It really is transformative. Think about how we used to do it, right? You read an article on your phone about a cool new show.
And then you email yourself the link or scribble it on a notepad or try to remember it 3 days later when you're in front of the TV.
Or my favorite, take a picture of the TV screen showing the movie poster.
Yeah.
Yes, Google TV gets rid of all that. You can add a show or movie to your watch list from pretty much anywhere your phone, using the Google Search app or the TV app, your computer, the TV itself, and boom, it just appears in the Library tab on your Google TV. It's seamless. Cross-device list building.
That's slick. But how smart is it? Like, what if I add something that's on Peacock, but I don't have the Peacock app installed yet? Does it just fail?
Nope. That's the clever part. The sources emphasize it knows where things live. It connects the title to the service. So if you add, say, Yellowstone to your list, it knows that's on Peacock. When you go to watch it from your list, if you don't have the app, it'll prompt you to install Peacock or sign in. It handles that linkage.
Okay, that is genuinely useful. And the old Android TV just can't do that.
Nope. No central cross-app, cross-device watch list like that.
Right.
You might have a watch list inside Netflix and another inside Hulu, but nothing that ties it all together at the system level.
Got it. Okay, moving on. What about households with multiple people? Does Google TV help there? You mentioned profiles.
Yes, huge improvement for families or roommates. Google TV has proper user profile support built in at the system level, so different people can sign in with their Google accounts, and they each get their own personalized For You recommendations, their own separate watch list.
So my kids watching endless cartoons won't mess up the recommendations for my gritty crime dramas.
Precisely. It stops that recommendation pollution. On Android TV, while some apps like Netflix have profiles inside them, the main Android TV interface itself is shared, so everyone's viewing habits kind of blend together, potentially messing up suggestions for everyone. Google TV keeps it all separate based on who's logged in.
That's a big deal for shared TVs.
Yeah.
Now, what about Google Assistant? Both platforms have it, but you hinted Google TV's is smarter.
Yeah, both have voice control, but there's a difference in capability. On the older Android TV, the assistant is good, but mostly for basic commands. Open Netflix, pause, what's the weather, that kind of thing. Reactive.
Okay.
Google TV's assistant has deeper contextual understanding, again, thanks to that stronger connection to your content and services. You can ask more complex discovery-oriented questions, things like, show me comedies starring Adam Sandler, or the classic, what should I watch tonight?
And it will actually search across all your services and give personalized suggestions based on that.
Exactly. It leverages the platform's knowledge of what's available where and what you tend to like to give much more relevant answers to those open-ended questions. Android TV's assistant isn't really built for that level of content-aware searching.
Okay, this all sounds great for Google TV. But now the crucial, practical question, upgrades. If I have a perfectly good 2-year-old TV running Android TV, can I just download Google TV onto it?
The million-dollar question. And the answer, unfortunately for many, is no. You cannot just go to the Play Store and install Google TV like an app. Getting Google TV requires a full system software update, an OS upgrade that has to come directly from the device manufacturer, Sony, TCL, Hisense, whoever made your TV or box.
And manufacturers. They aren't always keen on updating older devices, are they? Especially budget models.
Yeah.
Why is that? Is it just too hard technically?
It's partly technical, partly economic. On the technical side, Google TV, with its constant background recommendations and more graphical UI, generally requires a bit more processing power and memory to run smoothly compared to the simpler Android TV interface. An older or lower-spec device might feel sluggish running it, which leads to a bad user experience.
And the manufacturer doesn't want complaints about their TV suddenly feeling slow after an update.
Exactly. They'd rather leave it on the lighter Android TV OS where it performs reliably. And then there's the economic side. Developing, testing, and deploying a major OS update across lots of different older hardware models is expensive and time-consuming for manufacturers.
They'd rather put those resources into their new models coming out this year, which probably have Google TV built in already.
That's the reality. They want to sell you a new TV. So for many existing Android TV devices, especially those more than a couple of years old or not high-end models, they're likely going to stay on Android TV. No upgrade path.
That's really important for listeners to understand. Don't buy an Android TV today expecting it to magically become Google TV later unless the manufacturer explicitly promises it.
Correct. Assume it won't unless told otherwise. The good news, though, is on the app front. There's no fragmentation there.
Right. So even if my TV is stuck on the older Android TV interface, I can still download the latest version of the Netflix app or Disney Plus or whatever.
Absolutely. Since Google TV is just a layer on top of the Android TV OS, both interfaces access the exact same Google Play Store for Android TV apps. App availability and updates are identical. That's relief.
Okay, good. So let's synthesize all this, bring it together for the listener. How do you decide which platform is right for you right now?
All right, let's lay out the criteria. You should actively look for or prioritize Google TV if content discovery is super important to you, if you subscribe to multiple streaming services, maybe 4, 5, 6 of them, and you hate jumping between apps to find something new.
So if you're the household's chief content officer, always hunting for the next binge, Google TV is your friend.
Definitely. Also, choose Google TV if you really want those system-wide personalized recommendations for different users, or if that universal watch list feature sounds like a lifesaver. And frankly, if you're buying a new mid-range or high-end TV or streaming device in 2024 or 2025, chances are it's going to come with Google TV anyway. It's the default modern experience.
Okay. Conversely, when might sticking with Android TV or buying a device that still runs it makes sense?
Android TV is still perfectly fine if you prefer a simpler, more app-focused layout. Maybe you don't want all those recommendations pushed at you. Or if you already own an Android TV device that's working well and you mainly just use 1 or 2 big streaming apps like Netflix or YouTube, the core function is still solid.
And like you mentioned, if you're really focused on budget devices, the lower-cost TVs or sticks might only come with Android TV simply because the hardware isn't quite spec for the full Google TV experience.
That's often the case, yeah. Manufacturers reserve Google TV for slightly better hardware. So the bottom line, really, from everything we've looked at, Google TV clearly represents the future direction for Google in the living room. It adds real, tangible improvements to finding and organizing content.
But Android TV isn't dead. It's still supported, still functional, and fine for many existing users or specific use cases, though we expect it to slowly fade as new models adopt Google TV.
Precisely. The key takeaway is that difference. Google TV is that smarter, more personalized experience layer built on the shared Android TV foundation. It's about prioritizing content over apps.
Right, making it easier to just watch.
Exactly. Which actually leads to a final interesting thought, maybe something for you to chew on. We've talked a lot about how great Google TV is at using all this data, this machine learning, to show you exactly what it thinks you want to watch. Tailored recommendations, seamless discovery.
Yeah, solving the what to watch problem.
But could it be too good at that? If the system is constantly learning your tastes and feeding you things perfectly aligned with your profile, keeping you in this comfy, personalized bubble, does that amazing streamlining potentially create a narrower viewing experience overall? Does it reduce the chance of just stumbling onto something completely random, something outside your usual preferences that you might have found just by scrolling through the less optimized rows of an older Android TV app?
The serendipity factor. Does hyper-personalization kill random discovery?
It's just a thought. Does efficiency come at the cost of exploration sometimes? Something to ponder the next time Google TV serves up that perfect suggestion.